This is episode 123 of Zen and the Art of Real Estate Investing with my guest, Todd Pigott. Todd is the principal and managing member of the ZINC companies. These are wide and varied in the real estate space. ZINC Investing, which we'll go over, an income fund with a sub-REIT, ZINC Financial, private money lender, and also ZINC Realty, one of the largest rehabbers in the state of California. Todd, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for making some time for me today. I'm really happy to be here and excited to meet your guests.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you and get your background and then how you got into all of these different parts of real estate. But I always like to start here. When you were younger, was real estate something that you were interested in?
Yeah, it was. Originally born in Southern California, raised in Southern California, moved to Fresno, which is right in the center of California, probably when I was 13 or 14. And I knew something relatively quickly in high school, and that was that I really enjoyed the outdoors. I'm a water polo swimmer player, a mountain biker, road biker, hiker, kayaker, stuff like this. So what I liked about real estate is that you get kind of the best of both worlds. I mean, this is at a very young age in high
Yeah,
school, right? I liked being outside. I liked being in the construction element. I liked driving around and looking at properties, as well as some office attributes too. I didn't want to be an insurance salesman. I didn't want to own a bar or a car lot. That just didn't work for me. So at a very young age, I realized that I liked the construction or real estate aspect. You know, it kind of fit my personality. So here I am broke. I quit the only job I had at 261 an hour after taxes. I have this scholarship and I have $17 to my name. And water polo ended at various times throughout the evening. So what I did is I got to make a living, but I need to do something that's on my own hours. And so what happened is I went home and I got my mom's vacuum cleaner and I started knocking on doors to clean buildings because that's something I could do on my own time after water polo, whether it's 5, 6, 7, or 8, whatever time I got out of practice, I could go clean a building. So I knocked on doors. I got my first client at $63. And I got my second client, Pat Rogers and Associates, for $63. My third client was Spano Enterprises at $210 a month. By my sixth month in business, I had $810 in reoccurring revenue, and I could do this after water polo.
yeah,
Well, I took that company and I built it up over 17 years. I did not enjoy it. I did facilities maintenance. I did not enjoy it. I really liked construction.
yeah.
I really liked real estate. But I took that company from that beginning period and I built it up over to about a 500 employee company over 3 states. We did all the Targets, we did all the Mervyn's, PetSmart, Smart and Finals, you name it, we did it. And I was in an automobile accident and I ended up graduating from Fresno State with my degree in construction and real estate. But I stayed with my previous company. I built that up over 17 years and I
Yeah.
sold it. And I sold it because I was in an auto accident. I never enjoyed that line of work. And I said, I need to do what I want to do, which I'm really passionate about, which is real estate and construction. So I sold that company to a private equity firm and I took that money and I rolled it into Zinc at that time. That year was about 2005, 2006. I loved construction. I loved real estate. I
Yeah.
sold the company and after 17 years of building that to 500 employees. And so then what I started to do is I started to buy multifamily and fix it up, rent roll it, and then go to the next one. And so I did this. And then I started getting into distressed properties. My first property was a burned house. And I bought that and I fixed it up. And then I sold it and I made some money. I made like $30,000. So here I am 17 years later, got my degree, sold my company, and I started this company called Zinc. And so I started rehabbing properties. Loved it. I still love it. To this day, we've fixed and flipped about $100 million, hundreds and hundreds of homes. We buy distressed assets, we rehab them, and then we resell them for a profit. But it goes a little bit farther than that. That's ZINC Realty. Then we did ZINC Financial, and ZINC Financial is our lending arm. We loan money to investors who buy distressed properties, rehabilitate them, and then resell them. We're one of the largest lenders in the state. We've done over $1 billion of this. So we're a lender now in distressed asset real estate, as well as our own investment in real estate, meaning we fix and flip and we loan to fix and flippers. And so we're very busy on both fronts. But then what happened next is friends and family started coming to me and saying, "Hey, Todd, we want to invest with you. We like this. It's super successful. You've done $1 billion, virtually no losses." And so then I started the ZINC Income Fund, which is a mortgage fund. It's a debt fund. It's registered by the SEC. It's open to accredited investors. And so they put their money in there and then we loan that out on first position loans to our borrowers in ZINC Financial. So it's kind of it's really, I really have three entities now: ZINC Realty, where we buy, fix, and rehab and flip.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, if you go back and look at your first business though, for 17 years, it was still inside of real estate. So you're doing this commercial cleaning, but it's all inside real estate. So you're kind of prepping yourself for what could be longer term. Even though you got into fix and flip, commercial is obviously a large scale asset. So you're always looking at real estate the whole time. Was that something that you thought about at the time, or were you just head down, let me get this company going, grow the company? And it's like, wait, that we were in all buildings the whole time.
We were in all buildings. We did retail, we did commercial, we did exterior graffiti removal, exterior pressure washing, day porter services, parking lot sweeping, parking lot striping, street sweeping. We did everything, lighting, everything with a commercial or retail facility. So it was a business that I didn't enjoy, and I didn't enjoy it because it was 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It was very, very
Yeah.
tough. But it was real estate. It was real estate and a form of property management per se. And so I was in the commercial and the retail sector and taking care of all those properties. And was the thought process at that time I wanted to do that? No, my thought process was, I'm on welfare. I'm broke. I have $17. I just quit my job. I don't even have an education. What am I going to do? So I was, by default, I was doing that because it's something I could do on my own time after water polo. That's how it really started. But the nature of it is I ended up taking care of buildings, retail, malls, shopping centers, strip malls, all that kind of stuff we did. But my real passion, and I really like what I do, is real estate, is investing in real estate and lending in real estate and providing value to my investors who invest alongside me in real estate for a fair return. So I just really enjoyed this aspect. I do know this, that I kind of focus on what I do best, not necessarily other asset classes. So I don't look at agriculture or car washes or funeral homes. I don't do those things. We're very, very specific in investor rehab financing. We've done exceptionally well with that. We know it very well. I'm a licensed contractor, licensed broker, and a licensed lender. And so we're very good at being able to distinguish this property is bought for 200. You're going to spend 40,000 on it, and the after repaired value is going to be 325. It's a value add. So we're very good in that. So I love real estate, but I'm not a jack of all trades. I stay very, very focused in the niche that we've kind of perfected, and that's just kind of what we drive home.
Yeah. Don't you think that, I mean, one of the biggest problems for newer investors is just that repair estimate. They really have no idea. So if they could get a contractor may inflate it if they're not working together or know each other. But I feel like that's a very tough part. So if they can get any extra leverage in that area, it's definitely going to help them. Someone brand new to a burned out house is going to think it's a lot easier than it is to reconstruct. Then they just don't know what they don't know.
One of the toughest aspects of my business, this is one of the toughest things. We've done a lot of flipping, hundreds, and we've done a lot of lending, thousands. So, but one of the toughest parts of my business is my business, and what I do is glorified. It's the number one selling book on Amazon, How to Flip and Grow Rich. Everybody wants to do it. I always say every kid wants to be an NFL player, a spaceman, or flip and grow rich. That's the three things they want to do. And so I get calls all the time from these new people that want to get into the space because they make TV shows out of it.
Lots
of TV shows out of it. There's lots of glamorous with this. Now, is there money in this? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's good money in real estate. I do very, very well. But I will tell you, the hardest aspect is it's been glorified. Books on Amazon, the TV shows, I call it the balloons and confetti syndrome. It's glorified with balloons and confetti. So what happens is these investors come to us, they're all excited. They bought the book, they bought the CDs, they bought the balloons and confetti syndrome. And here's the problem. It's not balloons and confetti. This is a hard business. You have to know what you're doing. It has an element of risk, and it's very difficult. There's only 3 guaranteed outcomes for every single parcel of property you buy. 3 outcomes. You bought that junky property and you're going to fix it. Only 3 things I can guarantee. It's going to cost more than you think.
Yep.
It's going to take longer than you think. And it's going to be a lot more hassle than you think. So these people come in very excited with no war wounds. They got their budget. They've got their property. They're all excited. And we have to dial them back. That budget's not realistic. And the property you're buying is too high. And by the way, by the time you compute all of the carry costs, selling costs, your $200 water heater is really 850. We deflate their balloon, and then they get mad and they're
Yeah.
upset because they're excited. They drank the Kool-Aid at these seminars. And they're excited. So this is hard because they're excited and they want to get going. But the real truth is they have a transaction that's just not going to work. And so we have to explain it to them or not do it. The last thing I want to do is put somebody in harm's way, even though, we're going to get paid one way or the other, but they're not. And so to answer your question, yes, these people come that are more novice or more entry level. They haven't done it. They're super excited and they want to go do it, but they don't know the other half of this industry, which there is risk and there is hassle and the people don't show up to the job and they don't do
Yeah.
it right. And the pest report doesn't clear when you're in a closed escrow and then you already paid the guy. Now you can't find him and his cell phone doesn't ring. All these things are part of this industry. And so to your point, that is absolutely, we have to validate all that. We have to validate everything, every single thing we have to validate. What you bought it for, what you're going to put in the property, what's the value add, what's the after repaired value. And then we have to pay, I haven't even talked about this, pay close attention to trends, which I map out, which I can talk about if you want me to get into it, the trends of that specific area, because they'll never understand that. They're just excited and ready to go. But we have to watch the trends. And that's something outside their control, outside our control. And so we map that across the country. And I could share that with you at some point. But to your point, yeah, we have to validate all that information and sometimes bring them bad news that this is not a good transaction for this reason. And so we want to make sure they're successful and that we're successful.